अब 50 साल जब आप एक्टिंग कर रहे हैं, can we have a big round of applause? His first role as an adult came in 1973 with a film called Arangetram, if I'm correct. So when you sign a film now, what do you look at? What are your motivations? Is it just the love for films that you think ये कहानी अच्छी है मैं करता हूँ?
Somebody asked me, when you work, when you sign, I sign because it's a legality. I'm a film fan, and I'm fortunate to be behind and in front of the camera, in front of the projectors like you, and sometimes behind the projector watching my production rolling out to you. So when he asked me when I sign it with the same love I sign an autograph. I live up to the promise whether or not I've signed on that paper. Otherwise, I never get into a project. It's not about signing. My commitment is when I agree, when I love the project.
So you're talking about your love for films. I look at this, it says produced by Kamal Haasan. You're acting in this film. I know you have scored music in your films. You've written the screenplay, you've written dialogues. So there's very little that you've not done when it comes to a film. Now, I've heard a rumor, and this is a rumor which is very strong by the way, that Kamal Haasan decides to take a holiday. It's not a holiday, it's a work holiday. You go to some country, could be any country where you think, yes, that's where I can learn the craft. You learn the craft and then you come back. How much of it is true?
All of it, but I wish it would become a regular habit. I could afford to go only once after every film. Now I wish I could go almost, bring those people here, which I do sometimes. And it's not just me learning, my team learning is also important for me. And this cinema, people think the stars who stand on the dais and get the limelight are the only people who make the films. No, there are at least 200 people who make that one shot of my screaming. There are 6 people making it work. The focus puller, the man who pulls up the crane, the man who lights up the whole night. I just walk in and take the light and shout. But there are 200 people every time. Any one of them can go wrong and you will say something's wrong with the frame. Apart from that, I have many people behind making these banners go up to let you know, to distribute it, to send it to the correct theaters and program it well. It's so many people, and it's arrogance for any star to think that he made the film happen.
Yeah, Kamal sir, this was a full-on action film. How did you match your energies? And, you know, in spite of this being a full-to action film, I was attracted towards that emotional scene from where your tear falls. So, obviously, it has all the emotions as well.
Yes, it has emotions, not in a formulaic manner, but it is there. And about the energy, you just applaud once and I'll get the energy for the next film. So that is my energy. I get my energy from the applause, or the anticipation that they might applaud gives me that energy.
Hi Kamal sir, Renuka from Bombay Times. First of all, I enjoyed the trailer a lot.
Thank you.
And I loved the honesty with which you're addressing all the questions. My question to you is the art of staying relevant. We've seen you, we've grown up on your movies. You're working with Vijay Sethupathi in this film and Fahad, both are amazing actors. But over the years, a lot of changes in the industries across India, how people function. So when you today are working in films as an actor, what are the challenges that you feel? Because a lot of people are very reluctant to adapt, but you are not like that. You've been rediscovering yourself over the years. But what's the secret of staying relevant after all these years? And what drives you today?
I think all my knowledge is extramural. I never went to any university. So when I speak English, It's what I learned out of school. So I'm always nervous. I go back and check. In those days, you didn't have Wikipedia or Google to check. So you have to really be right. Or somebody will do this. An educated man there would say, he speaks English, but he's not educated. He'll spot me right on. So that happens with good actors who see amateurs performing in front of them. So I learned from them. I'm still learning, and that's why it's a holiday for me. I have no degrees. I never threw my hat off and said, I'm a graduate now. I never had a hat. So that's why I keep changing them. I'm not too sure which one will fit me. But that is, I'm the first most important thing, if you want to know what is the magic word, it is because I'm a film buff. If I'm not in here, I'll be here, in here, watching films. Thanks to OTT, and he shouldn't get upset about it, but he has also come from that digital into this form, and I enjoy my life better because I go back to my old films, watch them, not mine, the films that I enjoyed most. Like people, we don't realize the kind of values that we have within our own. We make fun of our films and say, "Dekho, West mein kya banate hain?" They also make silly films continuously. What we remember are the greats, because people like Jayantilal Bhai never brought all the films made in Hollywood here. They only brought the cream. So we don't know what's the grass film they're making. Whereas all that we do, we keep watching and comparing it with the best in the world. Compare our best with their best. And then you will see Gul-e-Azam is no way lesser than a David Lean film. And you'll realize that the core seed for a film like First Blood came from a film called Achanak. Watch it. And then you'll know I'm that kind of a film buff. So I'm grateful, and I'll keep watching films, and I hope you will also watch. When I was recommending that OTT should come, people in exhibition were very worried. I didn't know how to convince them because they were worried when satellite television came. And I told them that it will become another branch of this head office bank called Moving Images. Don't worry about that. But I couldn't convince them then. It came, and then they realized now the only way I could say, I'm not a great believer, but I do believe in change. So I told him in a language that he would understand. So what is that in your neck? He said, that's Balaji. Okay, I'll tell you your example. Just because you have a calendar with Balaji's picture, Tirupati will never lose its value. Same goes for Mecca, Ajmer, and the Vatican. Just because you've seen the picture, everybody wants to go there. One day they'll make it there. So this crowd here will never go away because this is a congregation that I enjoy. I could be reading it on my telephone. All that we are talking now could come through to me through my telephone, but I enjoy this company. I like watching your face. I like hearing that voice. We are all like that. Cinema, congregation in a theater will not go away.
आज की तारीख में जब हम देखते हैं कि RRR, पुष्पा, KGF ये फिल्में बहुत चल रही हैं और हिंदी बेल्ट में साउथ की फिल्मों को बहुत एक्सेप्ट किया जा रहा है, आपको क्या लगता है कि ये जो एक्सेप्टेंस अब जाकर मिल रही है साउथ के बड़े-बड़े एक्टर्स को, what has changed exactly now?
कुछ नहीं चेंज हुआ. We have forgotten. Our memory is Sholay. Some of the Tamil filmmakers said we must never allow these films to come here. हम बना नहीं पाएंगे ऐसा pictures. So why should we allow them to come? Instead of saying that we should make a film like that, they got scared of films like that, like Sholay, many other films. Like we wanted, I wanted to become a director, not an actor. When I saw Achanak, I keep referring to that film. What great films! And I didn't speak the language then, but cinema spoke to me. It doesn't matter whether it is Gul-e-Azam, Achanak, or even Padosan. It touches my heart. That's why the films I make at one time is Virasat, another time it's a Chachi Charsobis. That's because I'm influenced by that kind of cinemas. Nothing has changed, sir, except the audience with newer experience and forgetting the older memories.
You have done Hindi movies by the dozen in the past. But sir, there's a revolution that is taking place. India is one place. We have different content films. We have different language films that are becoming pan-India films. Just one question. I'm not going into, movies that are made here or movies that are made down south. But say you are starting Vikram. Are the sensibilities different when you're trying to make a pan-India film, or it doesn't matter?
No, I think film speaks a world language. It's a language on its own. And we are a country with such diversity, but with fantastic unity. Yes, we might disagree, but here's a country which doesn't speak a language, but calls it their national anthem with pride. None of them down south know a single word of Bengali, but they sing their national anthem in that language with pride. They know that. That's the only Bengali they know, is the national anthem. And down south, you'll find a very dark gentleman who will call himself Nehru. That's what this country is all about. I've seen that from my childhood. There is one sensibility which united us all. Otherwise, we were just princely states. It united us. No, that's fine. It united us all, and we made what was considered to be a silly dream into a truth, and we are living it. And we've forgotten how difficult it was to put it all together. It's like success in a movie.